Christy Iris, and thank you for hitting play and joining me here. This is the first of my channel that we're going to explore connecting our homes and our souls. And this is really for who I call conscious creatives. That means those of us who are conscious, who believe in something greater than ourselves, that there's some kind of spiritual life to be had, and we're creative, which to me might be anything from well, first of all, personal definition of yours if you consider yourself creative. But for me, that could be anything from a professional artist to somebody who loves to do crafts and putz around and do fun stuff in your home or wherever, in your garden, dance in your bathroom. Or you might not even be so much expressive, but what I call an artist of life, that you have truly designed and are living your life not by anybody else's standards but your own. And you might be doing all three of those. So welcome. I am excited to share with you how I have found some really magical ways to elevate our home to a whole new level of support and processing of our life. I think our homes can be a healing modality, a creative medium, and a powerful tool for manifesting. And I'm excited to share with you a lot of different parts of that. I'm excited to show you some hands-on ways to do some things in your home. I'm excited to do some inspired crafting because I think that's really fun to bring our intentions into our art and our crafting. And I'm excited to go to other people's homes with you, and we're gonna see how they live and how we're changing their spaces as well. And some of it might just be me sharing some of my own personal journey of how I'm connecting my home and my soul. Some of the work I have also done is working with decluttering. It is a system that I created for myself because nothing else was working for me. I found that those who create wonderful, magical decluttering and organizing systems are really good at it, and they are naturally wired to be neat and tidy and organized. And I am not. I am not neat and tidy and organized. I am a right-brained, creative, ADHD scattered gal. I can make a mess out of anything, and cleaning it up is not so easy because it's not just about the stuff, but it's about the stuff, the emotional stuff under the stuff. I am what I call a sentimental saver. I am a maximist. That means I like to have a lot of stuff around me to inspire me that expresses myself and my family. And I also like to have a lot of stuff to create with. I started doing this work and creating my own process back in the 1900s. Feels so funny to say that. Around 1997. And it started with me wanting to shift things in my life. I was not in a good marriage, and I was in my 20s, and I started first just discovering by putting pictures up around our home that showed women being adored by men, because that's what I wanted. I wanted to feel adored. And through that and seeing those, it helped me open my mind and shift my thinking to realize that he wasn't capable of adoring me, of giving that energy and reciprocating it. And I ended up getting divorced. Right before that, I also found feng shui, Native American traditions, Vastu, ancient traditions of how people lived in harmony with their environments. And I plunged into a deep study of that. And what I found was that it all came down to intuition. Before that, I had a career in theater design. I actually moved to New York when I was 18 and started graduate school to study first costume design, and then I got to study set design and lighting design, and I did that in New York. So it was about creating make-believe worlds for make-believe people and to tell a story. So what I really realized I could do is that I could transform that into helping real people tell the story in their home, because everything is a metaphor. Everything that we see on a stage, on a screen, is part of a story for that actor, for that character, for how they need to be expressed. So I realized we could bring that into our homes, and that influences so much of this work I did. And then I started studying how the brain worked, because I knew mine was different, and I didn't know that I had ADHD until I was 46. But I knew that my brain needed something else. And I actually found that by studying marketing, how stores are set up, advertising, everything they had learned about the brain and how to get people to buy stuff could be applied in our homes to get our minds to shift to thinking what we wanted to think. Not to buy, more Coke, but to buy into our vision and our dreams. And as I started doing that in my own home, friends would come over and they'd stop in the same place and they'd go, wow, something feels really different in your home. What are you doing? And at the time I was like, I don't know, I'm playing with like this stuff and Vastu and Feng Shui. And they're like, oh, I don't care what and they said, just come make my house feel that good. And when I heard that, it reached something deep in me that I just had always wanted to help people. And I felt a little selfish, self-centered, going to school for art, getting a bachelor's and master's degree in fine art and theater design. It just felt very frivolous. And yet I deeply loved it. And I still deeply love it. I was doing a little bit up until COVID. Probably will do it again. But I also equally love working with real people and helping them see how their home might not be reflecting what they want in their life, how their home can have a better flow, how their home can be a healing modality, how their home might be sabotaging our well-being, our success, our happiness, a good night's sleep, our health. Our homes have a profound, profound impact on our quality of life, on how we live day to day. And now, in this time of COVID, we're all home so much more, and people are choosing to even keep working from home more. So our homes are just that much more important. And our homes influence our thoughts so deeply. We think that we don't notice that broken thing anymore. They're like, oh, I don't mind it. I don't notice it. I just walk by it. Well, what's actually happening is, as I understand it, our brain can only hold about 7 or 8, maybe 6 conscious thoughts at a time. And then what happens is those thoughts don't go away. They get pushed into our subconscious, and those thoughts keep being repeated and repeated and repeated. So as we do that, as that happens, thoughts that are constantly repeated become neural pathways in our brains. And it's those neural pathways that make it harder to change thoughts until we rewire our brain, consciously usually, sometimes unconsciously. And those neural pathways are what create our beliefs and our values, and which are what empower the actions that we take to change our lives, to make our lives the way we want them to be. So our homes have a profound impact on our quality of life and how quickly and easily we get to the places and the ways of being that we want to be in our life. And that's not just, having our dreams come true. That's just even, our self-esteem, our well-being, our health. It's amazing how little things that we see all day, every day, feed our brains and our well-being and our quality of life. And being able to identify what those are, it's just so much easier. Life is just, there's a flow. And even as things get hard, you have a cushy seat. You have places to look everywhere that lift you up and can help rewire your brain to have the kinds of thoughts and feelings that you do want to have. It's so magical. A client recently told me that she chose to work with me over doing traditional feng shui because where I was different was that feng shui, which I totally honor as a beautiful, amazing, powerful system, but it is a form, and has an Eastern process where everybody follows the same kind of, this is how things are done, where my approach is really about looking at you, your energy, your flow, the earth around your home, and how your home is built and flows and supports you. And it's a much more intuitive process in that sense. And it's also very much based on the reality of how your life is going and how you want it to go. And not necessarily based on how homes were built 5,000 years ago and how that needs to be corrected for then. So with a nod and respect to all of the religions and traditions that go back thousands of years, I also have just found that this works beautifully for many people. I just love this. I love this work. I came to decluttering also. You'll see I have a decluttering course called Moving Through the Room, and it is specifically for those of us that other things don't work, because all the other programs are, as I said, made by people who are naturally neat and tidy, and they cannot fathom how our brains work. And hence I have found, just in my own process of moving and having to pack and clean up, and that I was able to look at all the ways that I got distracted and that my clients were getting distracted by decluttering. And I didn't, and well, and I reverse engineered all of the ways that I got tripped up trying to declutter and clean up and just tidy up. So all those different ways, like I didn't know how to where to get started. I, had heard you take everything out of the closet and put it on the bed. Well, I'm sleeping with the clothes a week later because I can't get it all done. How to go when I finished one thing, instead of bouncing around a room like a ping pong ball, I figured out what I needed to do to flow and create a path of success and finish rather than just what seems like I do a little here, there, and then I have nothing to show for it. Ways that I get distracted when I go off to another room to take that pencil to another room, and then I get distracted because I realize I have to do the laundry or this, and I go to the bathroom, and then I end up cleaning the toilet. And so I found ways to address all the distractions and ways that get off track and get overwhelmed. And I've been teaching that because I realized that a lot of my clients needed that too. And even more so, people started saying to me, I can't have you come to my home. I can't work with you until all of my clutter is taken care of. And some of those people, either it took them one woman in particular, she's like, I've waited 3 years to be ready to work with you. And it just broke my heart. And some people never did because they felt like they couldn't deal with anything in their home until their clutter was gone. But by raising the vibration in our home and putting positive messages and adjusting some things, the clutter, first of all, what's there doesn't bother us as much and it makes it easier to work through. But then our home, sometimes there's just some clutter that just happens because life is flowing and we're living in the moment and we're just not wired to pick up and tidy everything all the time. And it just kind of makes life easier. So I'm also going to be talking about decluttering. And if you are resonating with me and would like to talk to me more about working one-to-one, I would be delighted to talk about that and to explore my decluttering course, because I'm really proud of it. I just see how it can be such a tool for change and liberation, because it's so much more. The work I do, it is so much more than interior design. I am not an interior designer. My creative process is not dependent on expressing myself in your home. My process as a theater designer comes more from expressing who you are in your home and telling your story. And I love the creative aspect of it. As a visual artist, I was always drawn to entertainment because it's collaborative, and just sitting and painting by myself is lovely, but not as satisfying as the magic that happens when people get together and more ideas come from the bouncing off of ideas. And that's what I love working with my clients. I don't have all the answers. I am not going to impose how you must do things. I will always work with you to find solutions that work for you and your taste and your style, because you live in your home and you must feel amazing in it. And I know that's possible, that sometimes we don't even know the results that are going to happen, but by moving books from over here to in front of you, they become more feeling accessible on your desk. And then suddenly you realize, oh, I've written a book. I'm going to put that out in the world, even if it's just a simple PDF. And that starts shifting energy for you. And, or maybe it's just by picking up a box that's been sitting in the corner for a long time, and you sort through it and you find some things that you've been looking for forever. And suddenly you get to reconnect with a part of you that you forgot about. There's just so much profound opportunity that our homes hold for us. And we might be spiritual beings having a physical experience, but my God, we spend a lot of time being physical in a physical space. So we might as well have a place that really sings to our hearts and excites us and cheers us on and reminds us of what's good and what we love and who we are in our lives. And everything can get so much better and so much easier when that's working. Thank you for joining me. I look forward to getting to know you. Please comment what you're excited about, what I can talk about, what I can share, what I can help you with. Please leave me a comment, subscribe, hit the like button, all the things. Let me know that this is resonating with you, and also just let me know where your challenges are in your home and what you're excited about us exploring together. All right. Thank you for joining me.